Hey, what's going on, guys? Justin here from Out of the Basement to bring you another Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure review. We're continuing on with this wave. Today we're going to be taking a look at AURRA Sing from the Clone Wars. So it's in the nice yellow packaging. I'm glad they did the Clone Wars packaging instead of Phantom Menace because she is in a single frame of the Phantom Menace, but you know, she's way more prominent in the Clone Wars. So here she is. Got the Black Series logo up here. Beautiful window right here. Star Wars The Clone Wars AURRA Sing. You got that wonderful mural side art with her name at the bottom. She is number 8 in the Clone Wars line. There is a read up on the back. If you'd like to read it, go ahead and pause it there. We have that same profile image, Black Series logo, and her name. And there's a little bit of window at the top. Alright, here she is out of the packaging. My first impressions are that she looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking forward to this figure for a very long time. I am a huge Clone Wars fan, and it seems like they did her justice so far. We're going to be taking a closer look at detail, at the articulation and everything, so stay tuned for that. But just my first impressions, pretty cool. So first, let's take a look at some of the accessories. They did include her longer, like, blaster sniper rifle from the show, which is pretty awesome. Knowing Hasbro, I wouldn't be surprised if they just included the 2 blaster pistols, but I'm really happy that they decided to include the longer blaster rifle, sniper rifle thing. And there is at least a little bit of a variety of paint. This is a unique mold to the Black Series. We've never seen this blaster before, but we do have some brown like on the lower part of the stock and the handle. But for the rest, it is just kind of a dull gray. But again, this is a unique blaster mold. There's some pretty good molded detail on this weapon. Pretty cool. And it does include this like strap. And it looks to be a different shade of gray than the gun, which is nice. So it's not just all one solid color. And there is some like pouch molding on that. And to attach it, there's like these little hooks that are just soft rubber. And I think there's like a hole right here. So bear with me here. Not 100% sure. We don't really watch reviews for figures before we film our own. So maybe like right here? Yeah, I don't know. It does feel kind of flimsy, like it could come off pretty easily, but I guess that's what you're supposed to do. And you do get these 2 blaster pistols, which just look to be very dark gray plastic. It is not just black plastic, it is a very dark gray. She has weapon storage for both of these, so that's nice as well. So I'm honestly really glad that they included these accessories, especially the longer blaster rifle. I think the blaster pistol might be a new mold as well, because there are 2 triggers. And she has like some weird, alien-like hand going on, which they did really well. So is there, 2 triggers for 2 fingers to go into each of the trigger guards? That might actually be like a newly sculpted mold. That's pretty cool. Coming in to take a closer look at detail, let's take a look at that head sculpt first, and I gotta say, it looks pretty awesome. This character that is mainly in the Clone Wars has the luxury of also having a live-action counterpart. So I have no doubt that they probably modeled this after the live-action Phantom Menace costume and actor, perhaps. I don't know for sure, but it does look very Phantom Menace-y. So it's nice that they had like a live-action character model to go off of. So the realistic Black Series interpretation of a Clone Wars character looks amazing yet again. Something I noticed right off the bat is this nice, it's not all one shade of dark red, brownish. We have some light brownish for the hair. There is a little bit of variety. There's a little bit of blending with that hair, and obviously the hair sculpt is new. We haven't seen that hair before. So it's nice that it's a new sculpt and they did some extra paint with it. And then we can also see these like braids and some really nice red and white-ish color. Kind of looks like the same color as her skin for like these beads and braids in the back of her hair there. We have the band that holds it all together, which is like a darker orange. The antenna, I thought it would be articulated, but it's not. Be very careful with this antenna. Okay, I wanted to adjust the exposure a little bit just to bring out some of these details. But again, there's some like nice like eyeshadow and just like different sort of paint on the face, especially on the lips and around the eyes, the eyebrows there. As far as the orange part of the outfit, it looks nice, but I wish they would have done a wash or some shading on it instead of what just looks to be like one shade of orange for that whole jumpsuit thing going on. But there is some nice brown and silver on some of these, like I don't know what that is in there. And we have some nice silver over here. We have an orange band on the arm. We have orange bands around both of the wrists. There is some nice gold down here on the waistband. Some like gold chains around the holster. There's even some gold on like the buckles right here. Nice holster. Of course, the blasters go right in and they are not coming out. The upper vest is some pretty soft plastic, but I do not think you can remove it. And this is pretty cool. On the back, they actually added some detail. So again, the gold bits on the buttons around here continue. Boots are brown, but look at this on the back. There's even some added detail of some like bounty hunter gadgets and gizmos are always welcome in the Black Series. So they even added that detail on the back of the figure, which is pretty cool. Overall, it looks screen accurate. It looks really, really good. I just wish there was a little bit of a wash or some kind of shading detail on the orange main part of the costume. So next we're going to go over the articulation, and I'm not going to lie, this figure's articulation is kind of surprising me in a not good way. So right off the bat, this figure does not have, as far as I can tell, the dumbbell new neck joints that the Black Series has been having for the longest time now. You do not get that like back and forth and side to side. You can still get a really nice amount of tilt with this head, and it does go all the way around, of course. The hair does not hinder it, but it is missing the new updated neck articulation, which is really surprising to me. Like I said, you do get a fair amount of tilt, but not as good as the updated neck articulation. With that being said, the character does not look up at all. You cannot move this head up. That's as far as it will go, and she could look about that far down, but as you can see, it's not even the hair that is hindering this articulation. It is just that it doesn't have the updated neck articulation. Kind of surprising to me. The arms go all the way around. They go all the way out, not hindered in the slightest. You get a single jointed elbow, which bends surprisingly more than 90 degrees. That's a pretty acute angle, and it does cut at the elbow. Got that lower arm rotation. Both hands are trigger finger hands, and like I said before, like it has this new mold on here of her crazy like elongated fingers, her alien fingers, which is pretty cool. And it holds their weapons, the blasters, really well. And nice, a dual wielding character. Both has the vertical hinges. Good job, Hasbro, on that. However, guys, I also discovered a little something here. No butterfly joints on a modern Black Series figure. It really surprised me, and I tried to like move this. I'm like, is it hidden in there? But no, as far as I can tell, this is just the regular single arm hinge. Yeah, I tried looking again. This genuinely seems to be just the single arm hinge, so you do not have those butterfly joints. Again, kind of just a weird thing that I wasn't expecting necessarily. You can see the upper chest piece where it separates right here. That's where you're going to get your crunch forward. Doesn't crunch forward that much, but it does crunch back quite a bit compared to crunch forward. You do get a nice amount of tilt both ways and rotation. Here is another thing I wasn't expecting. This holster does actually hinder the leg articulation. You can't really get her to kick out all that much without twisting the leg and going along with the holster. It is hindered by the holster, which we didn't have that problem with Casca Reeves. We didn't have that problem with Tech. I'm a little surprised at this figure's articulation coming in the same wave. She can definitely kick back a little bit better. And this is also something different. We're getting a pinned look, a double jointed knee, not the single jointed pinless look that we've been getting this whole wave, but now we have a double jointed knee. I mean, it works really well. But again, this is articulation that I just wasn't expecting in a modern, new mold Black Series figure that came in the same wave. I don't know, I'm not expecting that. You do have that upper thigh rotation. The feet go down about that far, go up about that far, not that much, and of course you do have that ankle pivot. And with the loss of those butterfly joints, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it's kind of hard to get her in an aiming down the sights pose. Now with the addition of those vertical hinges on the hands, really good, and you can get some decent poses with the sniper blaster, but with the loss of those butterfly joints, it's kind of difficult. And honestly, I don't see why they couldn't just mold this piece onto it. I don't like that we have to do it ourselves and kind of figure out where each piece goes. And it's just soft, rubbery plastic, and it falls off very easily when you try and pose her with this sniper blaster. I just wish this piece was molded onto the blaster instead of doing it ourselves. Alright, so when you do have that strap attached to the blaster rifle and you have it holstered over her torso, it does look pretty cool. But again, it kind of took a while to get this pose because these little cheap things just kept falling off of the weapon, and it doesn't really support the weight of the blaster. I really don't understand why they couldn't just mold it on there, but maybe it was just for the customizable aspect of if you want to take the strap off when she's holding the blaster. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? The figure is still decent, but it is certainly lacking in the articulation department. They did a great job with the vertical hinges. They did a great job with the new, longer alien finger mold that she has. The face looks great. The costume looks great for the most part. The hair is really good. But again, I just do have that slight problem with the blaster rifle, and the articulation is kind of lacking. Let's go ahead and make some comparisons. For a Phantom Menace counterpart, here is Jar Jar Binks, but I mainly know her as a Clone Wars character, so here she is next to General Obi-Wan Kenobi, General Skywalker, a plain Phase 1 clone trooper, this is the newer one, the Coruscant Senate Guard. Now let's get into what everyone wants to see, some scum and villainy, some bounty hunters. Here she is next to Cad Bane, Bossk, Dengar, and last but not least, here is Boba Fett, because we do not have young Boba Fett in the Black Series yet. So yeah, if I sat around here saying that this was not a cool figure, I would be lying. I mean, just look how good she looks with her fellow bounty hunters. There are plenty of arcs she has in the Clone Wars with Bossk, young Boba, Dengar, Cad Bane. She just fits right in to the display. Again, my problems with the figure remain, but there is some new. There's surprisingly a little bit of old, outdated articulation. The straps on the blaster thing just weird me out. I don't know why they did that. They fall off really easily, and it's kind of just cheap. But she just looks good with the other Clone Wars villainous bounty hunters, so she fits in right in there with the display. If you are a big Clone Wars fan, I would say definitely pick this up. If you're not, or if you're not really even familiar with the character, I can see a lot of people skipping out on this one. There is a lot to like about this figure, but there are a few things to dislike about this figure. So at the end of the day, I was a little slightly disappointed by this figure, but she still, like I said, fits in right in the display. So obviously, if you know Aurra Singh, if you like the bounty hunters, go ahead and pick this one up. Go ahead and let me know what you thought of the figure down below. Did you pick this one up? Did you pass? If you did pick it up, what do you think about it? Anything at all, let me know in the comments down below. I've been Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys in the next video.